now. Welcome everyone to our Bachelor of Human Nutrition orientation session. I'm really excited to be meeting you and starting to get to know you. My name's Carolyn Dent and I am the course coordinator for the Bachelor of Human Nutrition. I also coordinate we've got a new Bachelor of Nutrition and Exercise fully online degree, which I'm also the course coordinator for. But as well as that, I teach across, I'm in the nutrition teaching section, so teach across a number of the undergraduate topics across the year levels. So I'll be getting to know you through course coordination, but also some of the topics that you will be taking, I coordinate as well. So let's get this working. Just want to start by acknowledging that we are meeting here at the lovely Sturt campus at Bedford Park on the lands of the Kaurna people, and I want to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging as we meet today, and welcome any First Nations students who are joining us today. So just to give you, actually before we do this, just to give you a bit of an idea about how this morning will run. This first hour we'll be in here talking through the more specifics about the Bachelor of Human Nutrition degree and hopefully answer a number of your questions. And then we will move, at 10 o'clock we're going to move next door with the other nutrition students, the Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics and the Masters of Nutrition and Dietetics students who are also just starting today. And we have the Meg Alexander, who's from the Career Hub across the university, talking about careers and on options and just helping you getting sort of starting to think. I know it's sort of, day one and you're just in the beginning of the degree, but it's good to be thinking about the future and where this degree might take you and what things you might put in place even now to kind of move towards that future career in nutrition. So Meg will work through that with us. We've got a couple of other guests who will introduce at the time, and including the student president of the Flinders University Nutrition Club, which is a student club for all Flinders nutrition students. So she'll be talking a bit about that and what great activities they have, and probably encourage you to join in on that. It's a great way to get to know other people studying your course, and not just your course, but the nutrition top courses, because a number of the first year topics will be shared with other students as well. So you're going to be getting to know students from a whole range of different courses. So it's also nice to just find out who is actually studying nutrition. So today is the first chance for that, but then there'll be other opportunities as well. So I imagine that you might be feeling a bit nervous and unsure and lots of questions, or just not sure of everything. And I hope that by the end of this morning's session, you'll feel a lot more comfortable, have some of your questions answered, and specifically, I guess, get excited about your study and where to go. Also, in terms of my role as your course coordinator, you can come to me with any questions that you have about your topics or your study plan, needing to, if you suddenly go part-time and you need to work out what order to do topics in and so on, I can work that out with you either via email or face-to-face or we often have Teams through video chat as well. So lots of different ways, and also may be able to put you in contact with any particular services that might support you. So, if you're struggling in any way, don't leave it too late to kind of seek support and help as well. So I just wanted to just quickly tell you a bit about my background, where I sort of fit in. My work life has been around community and public health nutrition. So I've worked for many years out in the community, firstly as a community dietitian, working in community centres and seeing clients one-to-one, running groups and activities and community development type projects, and across both metro and country areas, and then moved into doing more project-based work, so health promotion projects all about promoting healthy nutrition before people actually have chronic disease and conditions where they're needing treatment. So a lot of the prevention, which is very much what this degree is about. And I started at uni here about 6 years ago, and at that time I was also working in at it was called Wellbeing SA at the time. It's now been changed to Preventative Health SA, but it is an arm of the SA government which looks at setting up nutrition policies and setting up guidelines and so on, and really, I guess having that umbrella support to help people to be able to make those healthy, nutritious choices, the easy choice and so on. So was doing a lot of work there. Now I'm fully involved in teaching and course coordination and so on, but still have some connections with some of the work that I've done out in the community. So I'm still quite involved in a food relief action group looking at food security, because that certainly links is very important and links into obviously food and nutrition, among other things. But yeah, just thought I'd give you a bit of an update on me. And now I want to give you a few minutes just with the people around you to start with, just sort of introduce yourself. Love you to talk about, what made you choose the BHM degree, what are you most looking forward to learning, and also, what are you looking forward to in regards to being at uni? And then I'll just sort of ask a few people just to share a couple of things just for us to bring that back. So just give you a couple of minutes to just share with one another, introduce yourself, and then we'll bring back together.
It's going to be different, but I feel like my passion is not industry. Yeah.
Hello, welcome. Hold on at the table for the students. just introducing ourselves again. And you might want to sit around, yeah. Okay, we might come back together and maybe we'll just we'll just go around to each of the tables, and if you want to just, maybe share if there's a bit of a theme that's come out or anything, anyone particularly want to share. Maybe, do you want to start with you guys? Any kind of, were you both here for similar kind of reasons brought you here, or anything in common, or?
I came here for the love of the food.
For the what?
For love of food.
Oh, love of food. Lovely. Well, that's a really good, it would, important that to enjoy studying about nutrition and food, that you really enjoy exploring food and all the different cuisines and options as well. And hopefully get a chance of that while you're doing the degree. Anything specific that you two want to share?
We talked about different classes that we're interested in.
Yeah.
Because we're she was qualified psychology and biology, and I was chemistry.
Oh yeah, okay. Good. So you both have really strong science kind of interests and backgrounds as well. Yeah, great. Thank you. What about you guys? Have probably had a lot more on your table. Any similar themes or things that came out through your discussion? What you're interested in?
A lot of us did nutrition.
Oh yeah. Yeah, great. Yeah, so real interest in the area. And did you talk at all about what you're kind of looking for in terms of career-wise, or not sure yet? No. Yeah, okay. That's great. And what about you guys? Any things come out for you?
We didn't get to touch on it, sadly. But we had very similar backgrounds. We don't have a lot of science backgrounds. Me and Danny, we're very creative girls.
Yeah.
But it's always been an interest of ours. I don't know, what else do we have in common?
So how are you feeling about the sciences then? Are you feeling okay about just getting
It's been a
them?
while since I've been at school.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've done science in a long time, but I feel like I'm excited to, tickle that side of my brain again.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be a challenge, but yeah.
Welcome.
Hello.
The BHN.
What is it, sorry?
Oh, Bachelor of Human Nutrition.
Nutrition dietetics.
That's next door, 405. Yeah. No worries. We'll see you. Certainly. It does feel a bit science heavy to start with, and I'm going to go through the different year levels as well with information. But can I just check, just to get a bit of a feel of around the room, are you wanting to do the degree and sort of at that point go out and work in nutrition, or are there some of you who are doing this as a feeder into nutrition and dietetics? Just curious as to what you're interested in, just to get a feel for what we focus on. Anyone?
I am hoping to go into nutrition and dietetics.
Yeah.
But I also want to ask if it's worth it or not, more from the career point of view in terms of what a nutritionist is accredited towards in comparison to a dietitian.
Yeah, okay, great. I'll make sure I cover that. Any other kind of burning questions that you have that I want to make sure so I can get through on that? But certainly as we're going through, you feel free to ask questions as well. Yeah.
How likely is it to switch to nutrition and dietetics in a second year?
Okay, yeah, good question. I'll make sure I cover that as well. Yeah. But yes, ask me any questions as we're going through as well. We really know that nutrition and what we eat, the personal choices we make with food makes such an impact on our health. One of our leading nutrition scientists recently stated that if people's diet improved, to the top 10%, that they would actually alleviate 60 to 70% of diseases that are just attributable to nutrition. So it is a really important area. It's definitely a growing area and certainly a growing need. So as graduates of this course, you would be able to deliver quality nutritional practice within a wide range of settings. So you might be in government or non-government, public health, health education or health promotion, a whole range of areas. I guess just probably make it clear here that the distinction between nutritionist or this course and the nutrition and dietetics is that nutrition and dietetics, you'll become accredited as a dietitian, and then that opens up you to work in clinical settings, so in hospitals and health services, aged care, a whole range of places where you would be delivering therapy type services. So someone is sick, they've got a diet related condition that then you can help work with them on making changes in their diet to help improve their situation, whether it's that they've got diabetes or sort of diabetes, high cholesterol, or something like that, or whether it's more they're on nutrition therapy, they've got a nasogastric tube and they're getting all their nutrition through that. So it's a huge range. So a dietitian will be able to work on therapy because you focus really on the clinical needs of people's situation and their conditions. A nutritionist and then a dietitian can also do all the health promotion, community development and community health. A nutritionist has more of a defined scope. So the nutritionist focuses on almost like the prevention. So really encouraging the general population who healthy, not so healthy, but about how to eat better to actually improve their health to prevent some of these conditions. You might be involved in running health promotion projects, public communication, like really communicating the messages around food and nutrition. You can go into research, so actually both degrees you could lead into research as well. Say you're really interested in actually doing more research in the area of nutrition. This degree you can lead on to an honours degree, which is a year, and then you can go on into research. So that's another a pathway. With this degree, you can get registered as a nutritionist with the Nutrition Society of Australia. And I'm going to talk through each of the year levels, but we've got two topics in final year which we've designed particularly for the BHN cohort, which are health coaching and behaviour change and public communication. So they're really applied topics where you actually come out of there, and we're actually working on whether we can actually get that health coaching topic, whether we can get it micro-credentialed, which basically means that you could, that's the hope, and maybe by the time, because we're only starting to look at it now, by the time you're finished in 3 years, that hopefully is happening, that you would also graduate with a credential, be able to work as a health coach. And I think there's, I don't understand all the different private health schemes, but I think that's moving more and more towards something that then might be on the system. So someone could go to a health coach, pay you to go to see you as a health coach, and you have a broader range of skills as well as nutrition. So we do health coaching and behaviour change, and also public communication topic, which really looks at that public-facing information. You're scrolling through your Instagram and you see nutrition messages coming through. Is that coming from someone who's had some evidence-based training, or is that someone who has done a 5-week nutrition course or something? So you come out with, really good evidence-based skills in nutrition and can use that and be registered as a nutritionist with the Nutrition Society. But certainly if you kind of are doing this course and then you think, I really want to kind of work with people who are unwell and I want to really help make that change, well then there's also the pathway through to the Masters of Nutrition and Dietetics. So after the 3-year degree, if you've got a GPA above 5, which is really a credit or above kind of average, and you've done the dietetics minor, which I'll talk about, you can then apply and go into the Masters of Nutrition Dietetics, which is a 2-year program, and then at the end of that you're a dietitian. But in the meantime you could register and work as a nutritionist while you're studying that last couple of years. The other, just to answer your question, the other pathway into dietetics is not through us. We don't do any lateral transfers across, but you can go back to SATAC, and it then uses, it creates a GPA from your year of study, and then that can get considered, and you might be able to get into the Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics. But I guess so it's weighing that up. Like you could do the 3-year degree here and then finish off and then do the Masters. So that would be a 5-year program altogether, or, you know, go back and try through SATAC, and then you would go into the, like if you get in, then they would credit you the topics that you've done, so that then you're then, especially if you sort of do it at the end of first year, then you'll just be going into second year Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics. So, but it depends on what GPA you get. So you have to get a good GPA to be competitive in that regard. So, there's a couple of different options, but certainly there is, really, a lot of jobs around where using your nutrition skills and knowledge is needed, but also there is that other element of dietetics. So that will be something that just as you're kind of going through, and you're welcome to talk more with me about that. But does that kind of help answer a little bit your question?
Also, because you said after a year, but is it after 4 topics, which would be a semester, that you could then transfer?
Oh yeah, you need 4 topics to create a GPA. Yeah, so it doesn't. Yeah, I'm just not sure. Yeah, I guess. I think maybe the reason I'm saying that is that I don't think the the BHN, so this degree, you can do mid-year entry. I'm not sure if the BND does a mid-year entry, so it would mean you're still waiting until like.
And I guess it wouldn't really matter anyway, because the whole course content, if you were to do a minor in dietetics, is the same as, isn't it?
No, so but the first year is so that so if you just did this first semester, yes, you could create a GPA, but then you're not studying in second semester, so then you're a whole year behind once you actually start. So you may as well do the full year, get a GPA from that, and then apply like you apply like August or whatever for SATAC. That's if you want to do dietetics as a changeover. But if you
if the course content was the same for the first year, how would you not be able to go in second semester?
It's just not a pathway, internal pathway that they do. So it's got to be back going external. So that's the way. So I mean, in all facts of the matter, you're doing exactly the same thing. So it's just that you're still, you're just not in that course. But in terms of how you're treated here, like we look at Flinders Nutrition and look at everyone together. So, I think, that's just something to consider. So let's just get on to this. Might help answer some questions. We'll go into a bit more detail on. Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I'm meant to be next door.
Sorry?
I'm in the wrong class.
Oh, are you a nutrition and dietetics?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
Okay?
Nice to meet you.
So sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. You're just thinking, this is not making sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry.
No, that's right. We'll see you very soon anyway. Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
No problems. Okay, so this is a 3-year full-time degree. Are you meant to be there? Oh, no.
No, I'm not meant to be
Yeah. Yeah, all good.
So does that mean literally we would have classes this year with the dietetics group as well? Because isn't first year courses?
Yeah. Yeah. And you also, there's a lot of first year, so one of the topics that you do is Research and Study Skills 1. That's 600 students in that topic, because it is a lot of, it's a lot of the first year, and same with biology, chemistry, a lot of your first year topics, a lot of degrees need it as your fundamental foundational skills. And so, you only really get to know those that you're in a tutorial or a lab with, as opposed to the whole, you're not going to know the whole cohort. The way that lectures are run these days are that you might get told there is a face-to-face lecture sometimes, but mostly the lectures are pre-recorded online, so you watch it in your own time, but then you come in for tutorials or for labs or for workshops. So when you come in, it's usually that you're involved in doing something and kind of applying. But so for example, with my first year topic, food systems, we have most of the lectures are pre-recorded except next week the intro lecture, because I just wanted to bring people in and meet people, and also just establish answer any questions. And also we've got a guest lecturer in week 5 and 6 and from SA Health come and talk about food safety. And so I'm also, so that she's not just talking to a computer screen, I wanted people to come in to actually be there in the room. So you'll get to know some people from a whole range of courses really to start with, which is kind of nice.
Basically, like if we have a lecture on our timetable, unless it's like the specific ones, we just don't come in, or we do.
I think if it's on the timetable now, this is where it gets confusing, because we used to put it on the timetable but you'd just be recorded. If your lecture is on the timetable, it probably has a room and you probably come in. But in saying that, if you don't have lectures on your timetable, you should not be thinking, oh, I don't have anything on this week, because you actually still do have lectures or learning. We call it learning content, or different topics are calling it different things, but you'll still need to provide have that self-study time that you're actually going on to Flow, which I'll show, and in terms of how to actually access that. So so we'll get onto the topics in a moment. In terms, just a couple of things more on the degree is that this is 3 years full-time, or you can actually do this as a part-time degree, so you get up to 6 years to be able to complete a degree. It's, as I've said before, all of our nutrition information that is being taught and provided is evidence-based. We link in with the latest research. It's very, science is important, and it's important to make that distinction, because there are nutrition courses out there which are 6-week course and become a nutritionist, but the actual the nutritional information and evidence is probably a little bit scarce, and unfortunately at the moment it's still an area that work is being done to try to kind of protect the name nutritionist. But at the moment, unfortunately, anyone can call themselves a nutritionist, but from this degree you could call yourself could be a registered nutritionist with the Nutrition Society of Australia, and be able to promote yourself as evidence-based nutrition university graduate and that kind of thing. So that is very much a distinction. But unfortunately the name nutritionist has been bandied around so much that someone who's done barely any nutrition study can just call themselves a nutritionist, and it's not illegal. Whereas a dietitian is an accredited program, so you can't call yourself a dietitian unless you have gone through and you're accredited with Dietitians Australia. So I think this is an area still being worked on, and hopefully there'll come a time when it isn't so it's not so murky. So I think I've kind of covered most of that. The link here, the slides are going to be on the Flow page, which is the general nutrition page. I have a module on there just particularly for Bachelor of Human Nutrition, so I'm going to put all the slides up there, as well as the recording will end up going there from today. But that's just a link to Handbook, which basically gives you the information about the course, and also you can drill down and look at all your information about each of the topics. So this is what the handbook looks like when you actually just type in Bachelor of Human Nutrition. Gives an overview, it will give you the course learning outcomes, it gives the study plan, so it tells you each year what the topics are, and that's where you can click on those topics, and then it opens up a whole nother page which talks about that topic, which also will tell you the tuition pattern, so how you're actually going to do the learning, and then it will tell you the assessments as well. So the handbook's kind of like the Bible here of the, of information for each course. So familiarise yourself with that. You can just basically start, there's the link there, but you can also just Google Flinders Handbook, Bachelor of Human Nutrition, and it will come up as well. So it's pretty easy to find. So the study plan, we're going to look a little bit at that. Each semester has 4 topics. That's a full load. So 8 topics over the year. And as I've mentioned before, a lot of the topics are multidisciplinary. So basically that means nutrition is a discipline. So you're with other students who are in maybe other allied health or even health sciences, and just other courses. So you're kind of working together in a lot of topics. Until 3rd year, we have those 2 topics I talked about are specifically just Bachelor of Human Nutrition topics. But otherwise you're kind of mixed in with other students as well. Have you found the Flinders Learning Online yet? Have you sort of had a little bit of a look at that? Yep. So that's live now, and that's where, again, that's the source of truth. That's where you'll have each of your topics are there, all your information. It'll be opened, each module will be opened up as the week goes, and you can go there for the announcements from the topic coordinator, as well as what you're working on that week, the learning content, the assessments, information about that. It's all on that, all put on there. Plus that we have that course page as well. I've talked about the lectures and then face-to-face tutorials and labs, which it includes. So each topic is 4.5 units, and what that basically, an understanding of 4.5 units in terms of real time is an assumption of, or you sign off on your understanding of it as well, but it's about 135 hours of study for the semester, and that breaks down to about 8 to 10 hours a week. So, you think that times 4, that's what a full-time load is. So, I guess with sort of study tips, one of kind of the biggest tips I'd give is just make sure you carve off some time in your week when you're actually not in a class, that you're actually going to be focused on your study, because just from experience from other students who have found this, it doesn't take much to get behind, and then you feel like you're on this chasing up each week, and it becomes quite stressful, and can have other effects on your ability to get your assessments done and that kind of thing. So as tempting as it is to have your day when you're kind of on campus and doing like your tutorials, and then the rest of the time thinking, okay, I can work all of that time, it's important to actually have some time that you've actually carved off for your actual study, and then you can feel you can try and balance your life and workload a little bit well. So with this degree, our first year is very much around the fundamentals of science and of nutrition and health and medical science and so on, and psychology as well, because we recognise you're talking to people about nutrition, that there is, psychology is really closely linked and important to understand. So we have a broad brush psychology topic in first year as well. Also introduction to research and study skills, as I mentioned. Second year, go into a bit more detail around the science behind what we eat, a number of looking at diseases and conditions and so on. Also a bit more detail around physiology and biochemistry, because again, they are really fundamental to understand, nutrition science, and then, why you're then suggesting to make one change over the other. So you kind of understand what's actually happening in the body for that reason. Third year is when we start being more, have more application. We specialise in some different areas, including the public communication, health coaching, but also project management. We've got an independent studies nutrition topic where you actually are going to be working on a real-time project with someone in industry, and you'll be doing some independent research around that, but also helping. You'll have a certain number of project deliverables that you'll be working on with them and to deliver. So you're actually out there doing something kind of that's relevant and important in the area of nutrition. we were talking before when you arrived about how confusing this place is. I just wanted to show you kind of on the map the main areas you would be going to in your first year for study. So we're obviously down here at the Sturt campus, and you can see there's a few different car parks around that you can park at to access Sturt easily. But it's down a little bit further down from the main campus, which is the Bedford Park campus. Health Sciences, which is, you can see just in there, just as it's kind of near as you're coming into the main registry building. Health Sciences is just as if it looks like you're about to walk straight down to Flinders Medical Centre, and there's a building there, that's the Health Sciences building. Again, if you can do a campus tour and just get a bit of a feel for the different areas, that would be helpful. But Health Sciences, I can definitely say you'll have some tutorials in there, and for Food Systems, definitely that's where tutorials are, and also the first lecture next week. So familiarise yourself with how to get to Health Sciences, and then biology and probably chemistry. The biological sciences are up past the lake. So once you sort of get to the plaza area, you'll see a lake on your left. If you keep going, that's kind of the biology area. So it's up the hill basically. But again, you can see car park 1 is that greyed out area near the red. That's car park 1. That's one of the main car parks for the main campus. So depending on what time your tutorials are or your labs, you can look at that. But certainly booking into the campus tour, you come through. Are you here for Bachelor of Human Nutrition?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, come through, no worries. Okay, so I want to, I don't know, it didn't actually transfer over well. So, sorry, this is year 1 of the degree. I want to go through each of the year levels so that you can understand a bit further the study plan. So we've actually made a change to this, which I think is really helpful and significant. This is our first year of having Food Systems in first semester. So previously you'd come to study nutrition and you wouldn't actually do a nutrition topic until second semester, and I found it really frustrating that we couldn't, it was just the way that sciences were worked out, we just couldn't do it. And so you come along and you're like, I'm not even studying nutrition until second semester. You've got your biology and your chemistry, which is all really important, but we want you to have a taste of nutrition throughout. So I'm excited for this year because now we do have Food Systems is your nutrition topic in first semester, and in second semester it's nutrition, physical activity and health. And I heard some people have done year 12 nutrition, you'll probably find a lot of familiarities with that topic, and hopefully that means you'll find it an easier topic, you're doing a bit more of a revision, but it helps just get the grounding around some general nutrition information. So first semester you'll have Food Systems, molecular basis for life, so that's your biology topic. And psychology. Then we've just flipped these two. So if you haven't done chemistry in year 12, then the recommendation is to do general chem. And then if you choose general chemistry, then you would do your research and study skills 1 in semester 2. But if you've done chemistry in year 12, you could do chemistry 1A, which is in second semester. So then in first semester, you choose research and study skills 1. Unfortunately, it would be great if the chem was offered both semesters, because we would really like students to do research and study skills 1 in first semester, because it helps to really set you up with, as it says, getting into uni, into academic writing and understanding referencing and all of that kind of thing. It would be better if it is first semester, but unfortunately we have to work around the chemistry. So, some of you'll be having to take that second semester. But if you can prioritise, put that one in your first semester study plan. You'll notice there are some topics that you'll see when you go into to enrol that are offered in both semesters. And so what we're trying to do is give you a study plan of what we suggest works best. So, for example, in second semester, Health 1012, the strength-based approaches to health, working with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and Health 1004, human bioscience. Both of those are offered both semesters, but we suggest you do that in second semester just so that you can stick with this study plan. Sometimes if you kind of like change around and you know, put it in at a different time, it might then have an effect on another topic later, which unfortunately can mean that you're ending up here another semester because things don't fit as well. So I would encourage you to like take note of the study plan, and if you've got questions, you know, check in with me. So this is first year topics. Any questions about what I've explained there? Yeah.
Is it too late to like swap the chemistries? Because
No.
I didn't realise that it was like if I did do year 12 chemistry.
Yeah.
So I'm allowed to swap. Like,
Yeah, definitely. It's not too late to swap even. I mean, it's a bit harder once you you got up to week 3, I think, to, week 3 is like census date, but you've got, you can swap. The sooner you swap, the better, because then you're not having to catch up. But yeah, you can. We're often seeing students swap in and out depending on, you know, once you get to O week and you're like, oh, I didn't kind of realise that. So yeah, if you're not in a chemistry that you think is the right one, swap that around. That should be fine. Yep.
Will I still struggle if I haven't taken year 10 and year 11 chemistry?
Okay, so you've done science, like just general science in those?
Not even science.
Not even science. Well, yeah, I guess that'll be. You know, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I would imagine that I'm not so kind of au fait with the ins and outs of the topics over in science. But we don't suggest that you have to have a prerequisite of a certain, you know, science. So hopefully it can, you know, you can work through and they can, you know, you can pick up some of that. So yeah, I don't have a good answer for that, but I will say I'm going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about different uni supports, but there is a learning support, like student learning support services, and they have a learning lounge, and you can come along and there's people that can help you almost, it's not like as much as a personal tutor, but that could be another thing that you might look into. But they can help you get started on different things. So there are supports around there as well to help out. So yeah, I wish you all the best with it. Hopefully, it will kind of be clear and help make sense. So I just want to talk about year 2. So once you get into year 2, again, this first semester is the same as dietetics. So we've got 18 months where we have the same topics. Then things start changing in second semester of year 2. So first semester you'll be doing biochemistry and human physiology. So that's your more advanced science topics to build on your chemistry and your biology from first year. Research and study skills 2. So again, building on research and study skills 1. And then ISEP, individual, social and environmental perspectives on food consumption. This is more of looking at not so much about the nutrition as to what people eat, but it's the why, it's asking the question, and it's I personally love that topic and I teach into it, but it's a great topic in actually being able to understand why do people eat what they eat, and how do we actually, like, you know, how do we understand that, and therefore then how can we get alongside people and actually understand how to work with them. So we look at the individual reasons and individual perspectives, we look at the social perspectives, but we also look at the environment that we're in, you know, and environment in terms of, you know, the food environment, but also just in terms of sustainability and health, and, like, you know, what are all the things that are at play that are actually almost building us to eat in a certain way, and how can we actually, combat that a bit. So I love that topic. It's a great topic of actually coming together and having hopefully some aha moments and learning through that. Then moving into second semester, you have nutrition across the life cycle. So that's basically looking at nutrition from birth to aging and everything in between. And food products and preparation, really getting to the nitty-gritty of nutrition, understanding the food products that are out there and how we can actually interpret the Australian dietary guidelines to actually inform and help people in making some good changes. I take that topic, that's my, I topic coordinate that topic as well. And then you have 2 electives at that point. So I will talk about the minors and how that fits in a moment. And then final year, health coaching and behaviour change, which I've already talked about, and yeah, certainly hoping we can actually get a health coaching micro-credentialing there. Nutrients, role and function, that's really understanding the roles of each of the nutrients in the body. So that's building on your biochemistry that you've learnt and actually really drilling in on the nutrients. Research and study skills 3 to kind of build on your research. And then there's an elective spot there. Public communications in nutrition and public health and community nutrition. So that's looking at health promotion around nutrition policy, about that, providing people with the supports to actually, be able to, or the environmental supports to be able to eat healthy and eat the way that they do. That's another topic I teach into, but not the coordinator for. And then your independent studies in nutrition topic. So I mentioned a bit about that, and I'm going to go in a little bit more detail. So that's the 3 years of study. How the minors work is those 4 elective spots. We've suggested 3 different minors. At the moment, the way the study plan is worked out, you can actually choose your own topics there as well. But if you want to have a minor that then comes up on your academic transcript, these are the 3 that we suggest. We've got a digital health minor, an ageing minor, and a dietetics pathway, or dietetics minor, but it's really, that's the pathway to make sure that at the end of so if you were thinking of going on to the Masters of Nutrition and Dietetics, by doing the dietetics pathway in your elective spots, you've got all the right sciences, all the right topics that you need to then be able to move smoothly into the Masters. Otherwise, you'd have to go back and do a couple of topics. So the 2, I'll start with that one. So it's the integrative human physiology and biochemistry of human disease. So we realise that as general nutritionists, you don't need to go into that much detail. You've got your biochemistry and your human physiology, but you don't need to go to that 3rd year level of physiology and biochemistry for working, promoting nutrition. But if you were to do dietetics, you need to have that understanding. So that's why we put it in as the minor. You can see each of the minors has interprofessional and interpersonal communication. We see that as a really key topic because you're not doing therapy, you're not working with someone's feet or someone's eyes, you're actually talking to people about nutrition. So being able to communicate is really important. So starting off and understanding about communication skills and so on, it's key. So ageing minor, understandably, there's a few topics specifically around ageing. There's a nutrition and ageing population topic. Technology, it's looking around digital health and using technology in communication and in health as well. So that's kind of how that's set out, and you'll see on the study plan, we've got a different study plan for each of the minors, so you can look and see, okay, which topics do I do when. It is sort of set up, you can see it there as well. So with that ISP topic, the independent studies in nutrition, the only difference is in the dietetics pathway, you need to take it in a different semester to what is in the study plan. Now, I hope I haven't confused you further. Has anyone got any questions about the minors? Yeah.
Does the dietetics minor have all the contents covered with a Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics, or are there topics that are missing?
Good question. No, so you won't have everything covered that a Bachelor of Nutrition Dietetics covers. So in dietetics, they either do a 4-year Bachelor of Nutrition Dietetics or a 2-year Masters, and at the end of each of them, you can be a dietitian. What you're going to be, if you did this degree and the minor, then you've got enough to then be able to get into the Masters, which will then go into some more detail that some of the third and fourth years of the Dietetics Bachelor does. So this is where, because we branch out, so with BHN is doing some different topics in third year to the Bachelor of Nutrition Dietetics, because they're starting to look at the clinical diseases and so on, whereas you would do that in the Master's degree. So so you've got the key 2 sciences that nutrition and dietetics students do in their second year, but you're ready to get into the Masters. I hope that makes sense in terms of, but as I said, the other option is going into the Bachelor earlier through SATAC. But yeah, I think there's a lot of benefit in actually sticking through with this degree, getting this qualification, and then adding the nutrition and dietetics on at the end, because that is actually, it is a really hard degree, and you do it, if you're not thinking you're going to go into a clinical kind of setting, it's pretty heavy on that if you're actually just wanting to go out and work with go and be a health promotion officer or go and work as a nutritionist to, promote nutrition, then it would feel like you're doing a lot of quite difficult work if you're not going to go down that track. So I can see both points, but if you do the 3-year Bachelor of Human Nutrition and then move into the Masters, you've got a qualification already that you're there, and then you're adding a Masters onto it as well. So that's where that kind of fits. So just before I go on to that, I think the other couple of pathways I wanted to mention is you may do this degree and then think, okay, I actually want to teach children about nutrition. I want to actually become a teacher. You can actually add I think they do it in 18 months, a Masters of Teaching. You can go straight into a Masters of Teaching, just get your teaching qualification, and you can become a nutrition teacher. So those of you who did Year 12 nutrition, you could then become that teacher to teach Year 12 nutrition and others. That other pathway, if you've really enjoyed the research topics and you think, I actually wanted to get into a bit more research, you can apply to do honours in health sciences, and then because you're a nutrition graduate, you sort of say what area of nutrition you're interested in, they find a supervisor with an expertise in nutrition, and you can do a year-long honours project around an area of nutrition. So that's definitely open for you as well with the degree. Okay, so I think I've talked a little bit about this. I talked about the sort of the time commitment. I just wanted to encourage you in terms of being able to, I guess, some of our expectations, communicate with staff, with your topic coordinators, with me as course coordinator. When, if you're struggling in any way, if you've got questions, we're really approachable, we're really happy to help. Our goal is for you to succeed here in your study. We're not here to kind of trip you up and hope that you fail. We want you to pass, we want you to kind of do well and really enjoy it. So we want to be able to help you if you've got any struggles. We might have some ideas of things you can be doing or services you can access and so on. But don't leave it too late. I've seen that before as well, and that can just gets harder. But I also understand, it is hard to kind of express if you're struggling or you've got help. So I do understand that. But we do have someone coming in our session when we get together next door in a minute, who's a student wellbeing advisor from for our college, and you can actually link in with her with information as well. Using discussion forums in your topics if you've got questions is another area that you can communicate and keep checking your university email, because that's how we communicate with you in terms of topics as well. Just want to quickly finish before we move think I'm kind of near the end of this section. Just to let you know that independent studies nutrition topic can actually be used in an overseas placement. So we have mobility program that we offer nutrition students in your third year and in nutrition dietetics final year. And just for example, this year it's Fiji. So in July for 2 weeks, if you've nominated for that for your topic and you want to go to Fiji and work on a interprofessional, so you're there with exercise science students and I think some health science students, you work on a nutrition or a health promotion project, there'll be some nutrition elements. You also kind of have that cultural immersion and support there. We work with Think Pacific, which is a third-party group to support that. There's scholarships that are available to help with cost. If you're not able to get that, you can also add it to your help debt as an overseas scholarship. So if you want an overseas experience, there is an option there as well. And as the year, we'll give more detail once you're in second year, looking into third year on that. But I just wanted to at least let you know about it. And this was just if you didn't do that, you would be working with an industry here in Adelaide. A couple of recent ones is City of Marion doing a program there, and then this one was actually looking at doing some changes in the Sturt Cafe, to improve the offerings there and having some options. So this is your staff for nutrition across the different topics, and you will come across each of these staff members at different times depending on what topic you're doing. I'm not going to go through and introduce everyone's name, but a friendly, helpful bunch, and hopefully you'll enjoy getting to know different members of the staff, different areas of expertise and so on. And we are located in level 3 of the north wing here so we're in the south wing, so it's basically the other side, north wing level 3, but you can start by contacting, if you need to see anyone, send an email and you can get onto them. Course so our course, this is what the course page looks like, which there's information not only for you, so the Bachelor of Human Nutrition, there's a module for you as well as a Bachelor of Nutrition Dietetics module, but then there's a career module and that's where if there's any volunteering opportunities that come up or anything we want to announce to all of the nutrition cohort, we'll put it on there, so that, familiarise yourself with that page as well. And the last thing I just want to mention before we move next door is that we listen and work with students to keep improving topics, courses and so on. And so we actually have a call out for a course representative for each of our year levels in our courses, and so we're really keen to hear from you if you're interested in being we're looking for 1 or 2 students from first year to be the first year reps. We have 2 over the year. We have each semester we have a course management committee meeting, so one meeting where the course reps from each of the year levels from the nutrition, all 3 nutrition courses attend that, and you get some information. You might send out a survey to your fellow year level about the different topics and getting feedback, things that you're really loving, things that are you're finding hard, and it comes to this meeting and we actually listen to it and talk through it, and some things we can give feedback straight away that you can feedback, other things we take on notice and take on board, but it's a great way to build your own leadership skills, and as well as working within our course, you get some training from FUSA, which is the Flinders University Student Association, because you're kind of part of a wider range of student reps across all the different courses. So what I understand that it's not a onerous task on top of your study, it's very valuable. And you'll hear Sarah talking a bit about she's been a course rep the president of the Funk, who's going to talk. She's been a course rep as well, and she'll talk a bit about that. But we need to we need to kind of collect that by end of week 2. So if that's something you might be interested in, either chat to me at the end of today or send me an email, and I'd love to hear from you as well. So we are right on 10 o'clock. So I think what we'll do, what we're going to do is move into the room next door. We got some time together with all of your students together. But then at the end at 12, we'll come back here and with the BND students as well, and I'll just answer any last questions before we break for lunch. But we are going to have a break, I think, at 11 as well in between. But I think, we need to move in there now. So, thanks.